Today, I want to show you exactly how Sprntly works. Instead of talking in the abstract, let's use a real-world example with a day in the life of a PM at Slick Deals. Now, most AI tools in the market today have optimized for speed. They help you write a PRD or summarize feedback faster, but moving fast doesn't actually matter if your team is running in the wrong direction. Organizations are ultimately looking for business outcomes like revenue and retention, and that's where we take a completely different approach. Sprintly is a product intelligence platform built to tie everyday product execution directly to those high-level business goals. We do this by continuously ingesting data across your entire stack, pulling production telemetry from Sentry, usage data from Mixpanel, customer signals from Zendesk, and even external market changes. But our core differentiator is that what we call an outcome-linked organizational memory. Sprintly doesn't just store this data, it maps it against your historical roadmap. It remembers what you shipped, which product bets actually moved a metric, and the exact user behaviors that drove those metrics. So when you have thousands of bug reports and telemetry events flooding in every single week, Sprintly doesn't just surface the loudest signal, it isolates the specific high leverage issues that will actually move your core business metrics and maps on the optimal technical strategy to solve them and feeds that context right back into your execution loop. To see what this looks like in practice, let's look at a typical morning at Slick Deals. The team here never starts from a blank canvas. Before a PM even logs in, Sprintly has already analyzed their data streams and current roadmap to pressure test their planned features and identify missed opportunities. When the PM opens the dashboard, they see concrete, quantified paths forward. For instance, Sprintly has identified that optimizing homepage personalization will lift click-through rates, and it pins a $14 million revenue opportunity to it. It doesn't just stop at that insight, though. It pre-drafts the PRD. Let's open that up. What you'll notice immediately is that there are 0 black boxes here. Every single requirement, user story, and target metric is fully traceable. If an engineer wants to know why a certain architectural decision was made, they can click directly into the underlying evidence, the exact click-through degradation charts or recommendation engine signals. But we don't just hand off an AI-generated document and walk away. We keep your team at the center of the decision by building deterministic guardrails into the product. Sprintly systematically flags ambiguous or high-risk assumptions for human review. For example, it will flag if this personalization model relies on European user data, explicitly prompting the team to verify compliance against their data privacy policy before moving forward. You define the engineering and policy guardrails. The system simply enforces the checkpoint so nothing quietly slips past. Once a team gives the green light, Sprintly compiles the spec into a highly precise, context-dense, LLM-readable requirement designed for clean, predictable code generation. Simultaneously, it spins up an interactive prototype right inside the platform. The team can review the UI, leave feedback directly on the canvas, and watch the prototype regenerate in real time. From there, we make it a point to meet your engineers exactly where they already are. There is no manual copy pasting or translation into other tools. They can send this straight to Jira or via our CLI or Model Context Protocol server. The engineers can access all this directly in their development environment. And this is where the loop completely closes. Once the feature ships, Sprintly automatically stands up an evaluation dashboard to measure real-world production performance against the original target metric. Those results feed directly back into our outcome graph, making the underlying context layer even smarter for the next development cycle. Every deployment tunes the engine. Of course, a company moving at this velocity still needs institutional governance. That's why we built an enterprise checkpoint layer. You define the global organizational rules. Anything touching core pricing logic or regulatory exposure stops automatically, requiring a senior human sign-off before hitting a sprint. You move incredibly fast, but you always stay inside your own rules. That's Sprintly. We pair your execution velocity with systemic alignment to the metrics your business actually cares about. Your team builds faster, but more importantly, they build the right things. We'd love to spin up a pilot and put this directly in your team's hands.